What if the next exotic dish you see online, or maybe even on a restaurant menu, comes from a creature most people only associate with ponds, rain, and nighttime croaking? Frogs, for many in the United States, are simply part of nature, something you hear, not something you eat. But in different parts of the world, especially in China, frogs are not just animals in the wild. They are part of a deeply rooted food culture that has evolved over generations, while their life cycle from egg to adult is relatively fast compared to many other animals. What truly makes frogs unique is not how they grow, but how they are prepared, cooked, and served as food. Because once they reach maturity, their journey quickly shifts from nature to kitchen. And that is where the real story begins, a story of flavor, technique, tradition, and a completely different way of looking at food. Unlike larger livestock that take years to fully grow, frogs reach their edible size relatively quickly, often within just a few months under controlled farming conditions, which makes them an efficient source of protein in regions where demand is high. Because of this shorter growth cycle, the focus in the industry is not so much on long-term care but on maintaining conditions that allow rapid and healthy development before they are prepared for consumption. Once they reach the right size, they are quickly moved out of the farming phase and into processing, where they are cleaned and separated into usable portions, with frog legs being the most commonly consumed part due to their tender texture and mild flavor. At this point, the identity of the frog shifts completely from a living amphibian into a culinary ingredient, ready to be transformed through cooking techniques that have been refined over centuries. This fast transition from growth to consumption is what makes frog meat both practical and widely available in many food markets. Before frog meat ever reaches a pan or flame, it goes through a preparation process that is surprisingly detailed and precise, especially in professional kitchens, where presentation and taste are equally important. The frog legs are carefully cleaned, skinned, and washed to remove any impurities, leaving behind the pale meat that is often compared to chicken, but with a softer and more delicate texture. In many cases, the meat is then marinated using a mixture of garlic, ginger, soy sauce, and spices, allowing the flavors to penetrate deeply before cooking begins. This step is crucial because frog meat on its own has a mild taste, which makes it highly adaptable to different flavor profiles. Some chefs prefer to keep the seasoning simple to highlight the natural texture, while others use bold spices to create a stronger, more intense flavor experience. The preparation stage sets the foundation for what comes next, the cooking process, where the true transformation happens. One of the most common and widely loved ways to cook frog meat is by frying it in hot oil, a method that transforms its soft texture into something crispy on the outside while remaining tender on the inside. The marinated frog legs are often coated lightly in flour or starch before being placed into sizzling oil, where they begin to change color, turning golden brown as the outer layer crisps up. The sound of frying, combined with the aroma of spices, creates an intense sensory experience that draws attention instantly, especially in busy street food environments where cooking is done in front of customers. In some variations, the frog legs are deep fried first and then tossed in a wok with chili, garlic, and sauces, adding another layer of flavor and texture. This method not only enhances taste, but also makes the dish visually appealing, with a crispy coating that contrasts with the juicy meat inside. For many people trying frog meat for the first time, this fried version is the most approachable, as it closely resembles familiar fried foods. While frying is extremely popular, it is far from the only way frogs are prepared, as Chinese cuisine offers a wide range of cooking styles that bring out different aspects of the meat's flavor and texture. In some regions, frog meat is stir-fried in a wok with strong spices like dried chili peppers, Sichuan peppercorns, and garlic, creating a dish that is both spicy and aromatic, often served with rice to balance the heat. In other cases, frogs are used in soups, where they are simmered slowly with herbs and vegetables, producing a lighter, more delicate flavor that focuses on warmth and nutrition rather than intensity. There are also grilled versions, where frog meat is skewered and cooked over open flames, giving it a smoky taste that adds another dimension to its profile. Each method reflects not only culinary preference, but also regional identity, showing how one ingredient can be transformed in multiple ways, depending on tradition and taste. When it comes to eating frog meat, the experience is often described as both familiar and unique at the same time, especially for those trying it for the first time. The most commonly consumed part, the legs, are usually served in small portions, and diners either use chopsticks or their hands to pick them up, depending on the setting. The meat is tender and slightly firm, often compared to chicken wings, but with a smoother texture and a more subtle flavor. In fried versions, the outer crispiness adds a satisfying crunch, while in soups or stir-fries, the softness of the meat becomes more noticeable. In many cases, frog dishes are shared among multiple people, making them part of a larger dining experience rather than a standalone meal. This communal aspect of eating reflects a broader cultural approach to food, where dishes are meant to be enjoyed together rather than individually. In the end, frog meat is more than just an unusual food choice. Is a reflection of how culture, necessity, and culinary creativity come together to transform something unexpected into something widely accepted and even celebrated in certain parts of the world. While the idea may seem unfamiliar or even uncomfortable to some, especially in the United States, it also opens the door to understanding how diverse global food traditions truly are. From quick growth cycles to detailed preparation, from sizzling oil to carefully crafted dishes, the journey of frog meat is one that challenges perception and invites curiosity. So the real question is not just how it is made, but whether you would ever be willing to try it yourself. Let us know in the comments. And if you want to explore more surprising realities from around the world, make sure to subscribe to USA File, because here, every story shows you a side of the world you've never seen before.